YNW Melly's retrial won't begin until 2024, as his lawyers had his retrial delayed, giving him a better chance of being released on bond until trial begins. It all started with a report of YNW Melly's retrial has been delayed until February 5th, 2024, as the delay is based around the new jury all being taken off of his retrial, as a new jury now has to come in. This was very creative lawyer work done by Melly's team, which in the end is all based around a bond release date. To understand further and when, we need to dive deep into YNW Melly's ex-lawyer, who did an interview this week answering the question on why the judge delayed the trial.
Let me ask you about what the judge did here. Were you surprised that the judge just, got rid of the whole jury panel, basically sided with the defense? Why do you think he did that?
I think that the judge doesn't want this to come back in appeal, so he's going over and above of what you normally see, because he knows if this is a not guilty, the state can't appeal it. Right? There's no appeal from the state. It would only be if this is a guilty, it would be an appeal from the defense. So a lot of judges go over and above for a defendant to make sure that they eliminate all possible appellate issues.
From Melly's perspective, the pro is a lot of time is now here to build up new evidence proving that he's not guilty, and so he has a good chance of receiving a bond. However, the negative is that if YNW Melly is found guilty in this upcoming retrial, he will likely not be able to appeal the case. This retrial is now an all-in situation. As with the trial delayed, Melly's lawyers are now going to be working around a case dismissal, which is all due to his rights being violated. As it was announced, YNW Melly's lead attorney, Jamie Benjamin, filed a second motion to dismiss for government and prosecutor misconduct in violation of the defendant's due process rights with the Broward clerks on Wednesday, as YNW Melly has a high chance of release due to his rights being violated per the 14th Amendment.
Have added Christine Bradley, the prosecutor herself, to the witness list, and 5 other attorneys from the state attorney's office who they say knew about this situation. That's 7 attorneys from the state attorney's office. Because of this, Melly's attorneys are saying keeping Christine Bradley and this state attorney's office on this case is not only a conflict of interest, it's actually a violation of Melly's right to due process, which is a part of the 14th Amendment.
So to figure out the release date, we're gonna need to dive deep into YNW Melly's new charges, as we need to see if they're severe enough for it to matter. As due to YNW Borland's recent actions, Melly now has new charges.
The state filing 6 new charges against Demmons and 2 others who were allegedly involved. The charges include tampering with a witness, directing the activities of a criminal, solicitation or conspiracy to commit tampering, and unlawful use of a two-way communication device. Now, a couple of those charges actually carry a life in prison sentence if there's a conviction.
As YNW Borland was arrested for witness tampering charges, as while his house was being raided by the feds, they were able to find insane paperwork against Melly and Borland, as Borland committed one of the most serious crimes that you can do when attending a court trial such as YNW Melly's.
Melly's co-defendant YNW Borland was booked into a Miami jail Monday night and is being held behind bars on an out-of-county warrant. We just confirmed the warrant is out of Broward County for witness tampering. The warrant obtained by Law and Crime Network states as follows. On or about April 10, 2023, continuing through and including July 22, 2023, Cortland Henry, aka Bortland, along with others, did unlawfully and knowingly engage in misleading conduct toward another person with the intent to cause or induce them to withhold testimony. The warrant continues the alleged witness had been summoned by the legal process to the jury trial of Jamel Demmons, aka YNW Melly. The dates in the warrant are important. Jury selection for Melly started in mid-April, and a judge declared a mistrial on July 22nd, the same day the warrant claims Borland allegedly tampered with a witness.
As it would officially be announced by Bryson Paul, here are the images of alleged notes discovered during the home raid of YNW Borland's home last week, as filed into the Broward clerks by the state, alongside the photos you see here of YNW Borland detailing where certain jurors were sitting, along with a description of what they looked like. As near the end of YNW Melly's original trial, YNW Borland would show up in the courtroom to speak with the judge. When doing so, he tried to remember every single person sitting in the jury and what they looked like, which is extremely illegal as well as terrible, as here's even DJ Academics' reaction to it.
To keep it real, this is sloppy. Borland how the fuck you gonna have the notebook of the jurors in your house? Like, god damn. Holy shit. You know what I mean? Like, brother, like, come the fuck on. It's like doing a and having the surveillance tape in your DVD player or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, come on, bro. Like they raid your crib and the surveillance footage of the is in your DVD player. They be like, oh, okay, thank you, brother. This can't be at your crib.
As not too long after the drawings were found by law enforcement in Bortland's home, some new evidence popped up against Melly as well, as the prosecutors would reveal a video we have never seen before from Melly's cell phone, where the report reads, "This is the video we requested from prosecutors in the state of Florida versus Jamel Demons. We have the honor of representing the family of Christopher Thomas, aka YNW Juvie. Melly's defense attorney filed a motion for protective order to prevent me from obtaining this video, as the video was on Melly's cell phone and it was recorded a month after he allegedly got his two friends. It doesn't show a man in mourning or even seeking answers for his lost friends, and instead it mocks them, if not takes credit for it through false expression."
No regrets for the shit I did. That also mean for the nigga. Yeah, 4:30 a.m. Never say when.
As with Melly's new charges and the new evidence against him, the father of YNW Juvie would then do a surprise interview where he would provide even more evidence for the new lead prosecutor against Melly. As during the new interview, Juvie's father would expose how Melly and Bortland were witness tampering and even what code words they were using to make Melly's ex-girlfriend not testify against him.
Both Melly, Jamel Demons, YNW Melly, and Cortland Henry, who is known as YNW Bortland, are now charged with witness tampering. It sounds like the prosecutors are saying there was this kind of crazy way that Melly was communicating. He wasn't allowed to use the phone, but he was passing notes to people, and then this person's calling this person and then that person.
Saying like to me, they going through extreme measures to try to cover up or convince people not to testify, like Mariah mom. They was using code words like Rihanna and A$AP Rocky's baby mom. And
however, it's when YNW Juvie's father would then share what happened on the morning of the crime, the moment that he had to drive down to clarify to law enforcement that Juvie was the one that passed. As while doing so, YNW Melly's mother would do something very unexpected to the father.
He wasn't, he had switched vehicles. At least that's what they said in the first trial, that he had gotten into. It was suggested through a defense witness, the one and only defense witness, that he had gotten into that other vehicle.
Yeah, they was telling me that I drove down there that morning to go identify Chris. I met Moretti down there that morning, other 26. And on the way down there, when I talked to Jamie, she told me the same thing. Like, don't talk to the media and tell them Melly wasn't there. Instantly, my antennas went up because I didn't understand. Like, I knew from that day, I knew something was up.
He would then end the video off sharing his last moment that he saw Christopher, aka his son, including on how the trial is truly affecting him and his family.
Last time I spoke to Chris was like 2 days before the incident. Him and Melly FaceTimed me, and that's the last time I saw him. Last time I spoke to him was like that same week, man. It just hurt me to see that the love that he had for Melly to do that to him. I see if it was one of his enemies or somebody, he did something wrong or something, but the way it happened, how it happened, who did it, it just heartbreaking on both sides.
All of this legal wrangling that's leading to a delay in the second trial, how are you?
I'm taking it one day at a time. You know, you got to go through this process once again. Gotta relive it once again.
As featured at the very end of the interview would be an old interview that Juvie's father did several months ago, where he would reveal that he believes YNW Melly was guilty ever since the beginning.
But it's my understanding you believed from the very beginning that Melly was responsible for your son's.
From the day one, I believe that Melly was responsible for my son on October 26th when I first heard the story, because his explanation when I finally talked to him and Cortland on a FaceTime, their response and how they was reacting, they showed no remorse. They didn't act like they was grieving, like they lost a best friend or nothing. They was, in my opinion, they was in the best spirits. They never came to town, never came to my son's funeral.
As sources label this a very important interview, Stephen Klinger, the new lead prosecutor, is now having so much new evidence to use against Melly presented to him. Even a friend of late King Von, being an O-Block resident named Jay Hood, would also reveal something that YNW Melly told King Von in confidence.
Did Von really tell you that Melly told him that he was two friends?
He ain't come out and say, like, we got into an argument. And so, you know, if you know, when people could say something without saying it. And so he told me, like, once I posted what I posted, Von was mad at me. Bro, why you put up there, bro? Walter Bam. I'm like, you sitting up here, like, you know the love we got. You do this for us, but you gonna trust that his two friends? And he said, them was trying to extort him. And so I'm like, if they was trying to extort him, then why are you still around them?
Where he would reveal that YNW Sack Chaser and Juvie were allegedly going after Melly for financial gain, as the evidence against Melly committing this crime is very severe. Fans couldn't even believe it when Sergeant Williams would reveal, after investigating the vehicle, there's no way this could have been a drive-by.
Assignment, which is to determine if this is a drive-by. And my determination was that this is not a drive-by. And it's based upon this picture here, which is a very good picture to describe it. All of these rounds are done. One is done at a stationary position. At a stationary position when all but one of these rounds are going in. The one round that has some movement in it, which is round site L here. The actually moving in that to create the little bit of a that you see there.
Okay, a lot of information in that answer, so let's break it down a little bit. You mentioned so I'm going to zoom in on site F. Number, you said 17 outside the car. How many rounds were inside the car?
3.
And can you exclude the for Mr. Williams and Mr. Thomas as coming from outside of the car?
Yes. From the driver's side back seat.
As to the shot that Christopher Thomas, where did that come from?
Driver's side back seat.
Okay. Is it possible for there to have been 2 inside that car?
No.
Why not?
There is no time.